if we assume 5 million square feet planted, 115 acres, members. So it sounds pretty exciting. 3.5 million square feet actually translates into the current number of 5 million square feet planted, 115 acres. And why is that important? It's important because when you get down to the brass tacks, we need to know what is that cost, right? And if somebody gets a different number than me, I'd be happy to talk about how we come to those numbers. But the number I came to was $26,000 an acre for this program to be implemented in Minnesota. $26,000 an acre, members. I've been around for a little while, Representative Tabke. I've been tracking a lot of programs as they come through the LCCMR or the Lessard-Sams, in the Environment Committee. Soil and Water Conservation District's doing a great job out there in the land. I don't know if I've ever seen a program that costs $26,000.
Clerk's office puts together this summary at the end of every week. The speaker actually made me aware of it on Twitter after the 4th week of session, but I got the numbers after the 5th week of session. I think these numbers are extremely revealing and should be very concerning to all of us, frankly, at the pace at which this body is pushing bills through committees and to the General Register. In every first year of a biennium since 2009, the highest number of bills that we have had through committee reports after the 5th week of session, the highest number, our previous record, was 57 in 2017. And that was really a record. That was higher than the next, almost 20 higher than the next closest one at 39 in 2011. 57 in 2017. After the 5th week of session this year, we have had 152 committee reports, almost 3 times our previous record. Yeah, that's great. It's like driving 150 miles an hour down the freeway. That's 3 times as fast as a normal speed. Maybe that's good if you don't get in an accident. It's almost 4 times the next highest number, again in 2011, 39. The number of bills that we have put on the General Register, that comparison is actually even more staggering. Bills on the General Register, of course, means we're done hearing them in committee. We have 35 bills on the General Register at the end of the 5th week of session. In 2013, 2011, 2009, there were no bills on the General Register. In 2017, again, our previous record-holding year, we were at 10. We are 3.5 times as many bills that we are done here doing committee work on than the same time in our previous record-breaking year. Members, that's a lot, and maybe it's good to break that record, but when we're 3.5 times beyond our previous record, or 2.7 times beyond our previous record, that should give us all a little bit of pause, that maybe the work, what we're doing, not only the substance of it, but the pace of it is reckless, and we should slow down. Please vote no.
When I talk to people back home on the weekends, is what are we doing with our tax relief that we were promised, the $18 billion surplus, and I see these other bills coming through committee. Earlier today, we had a nice bill to help the food shelves and such at $5 million. I can understand that. But taxpayers want to know what we're doing with their money here, and looks like we're spending $4 million on a program to grow weeds and flowers. But they want to know where their tax relief is, and I can't go home and tell people in my district that you're not getting tax relief. In fact, you're getting a tax increase as proposed by the governor's budget.
Right now, what was ironic on this bill, it's a big bill. It's a complex bill, HF3. This was not one that should easily just be going through without being vetted out, right? We want to make sure we are making it best, for Minnesota, that we are not making mistakes. But the irony really lies in HF3 that we were having discussion on our First Amendment rights if this would be constitutional to law, the right to free speech. And when we're discussing questions about free speech, we are cut off. The Republicans were cut off from discussing this bill. So we asked to lay this over. We asked to be able to have our questions answered. We understand we were up against a hard stop. But there is some irony there that we're having a discussion on free speech and we were cut off. There's a saying, haste makes waste. Haste also makes mistakes. And what we are seeing over and over is right now, as we are on the floor and we are introducing bills, we are at 1,582 bills that have been introduced on this floor. We are in the 6th week of session, and even though I am a new legislator, I am told that we are moving at the rate of about 3 times the rate of what this body would normally operate. Haste makes waste. Haste makes mistakes. We have a duty to the citizens of Minnesota to do this right. And I need to ask, are we doing this right when we're doing things that are skipping steps that are not the normal legislative process? There are serious questions in this bill. Is this constitutionally correct?